I was recently diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, and this week's homework has me pretty much non-functional. This week's homework comes in several parts. Part 1 was writing in as much detail as I can possibly remember, including as many senses as I can, about what the index trauma was like to go through. Another part, which is slightly less important, is just a continuation of what it was that I was doing last week, which really isn't at all that. Now it feels like a walk in the park, even though before it felt very, very difficult to accomplish. Because part 3, and here's the kicker, I have to reread what I wrote down about my index trauma every single day. I'll now read some of the words that were used in said index trauma journal entry to you now. Dragon Ball Z, protest, pillow, and sleep. Really though, I have no intention of reading the actual thing to you. It is uncomfortable enough for me to read silently to myself, though it also has me reflecting of all of the traumas. I don't understand why it's this one. Like, it's clearly working. The therapy is doing the things. I am finding things about myself. Like, this is working and my therapist is right. I just wish I understood why. There are just far more terrifying things that I could be journaling about in great detail that I know would have me, like, on the ground in agony needing to reread, but this one just leaves me feeling numb, and maybe that's a sign that this is the right one for me. I actually find it slightly easier to continue to read something that leaves me feeling like big emotional agony. It's far more tempting to avoid the thing that makes me feel numb after I've read it. Plug. I started a Patreon, and it includes things like blooper reels or art progress photos, which is like that background stuff. Behind the scenes, that's what I was looking for. It includes behind the scenes photos and bloopers or one-on-one conversations with me, and I'm pretty sure mine is fairly inexpensive. I use the name My Oddity Artistry though, which is the name of my company that I sell my art through, so there's going to be some confusion, I imagine. It's going to be a bit of art content and a bit of DID content, so you can get both in one place for a low price. $4, $3, I don't know. Patreon has existed for a while. It's never actually been something that I've done, like, actively, so be patient with me while I figure out how to make it work and get onto schedule and be regular about it and stuff. Now that I know that my #1 coping mechanism is avoidance, I'm able to catch myself doing it way more often, but that doesn't make not avoiding stuff any easier. I feel like maybe that's only made it worse temporarily, because now I have the extra level of guilt that goes into knowing that I'm really just avoiding important things. I owe a lot of people a lot of genuine apologies, because right now all I can genuinely manage to do is exist slightly more than a stagnant depressive state. That's not great. That's not a lot. I'm just straight up avoiding my best friends, and that's super mean, and they don't understand what's going on because, well, some of them watch my TikToks, not all of them do, and I don't expect any of them to be doing it obsessively, and I don't expect any of them to forgive what I'm doing just because my mental health is in the trash can. Never mind all that. Who actually wants to feel those feelings when instead you can just avoid them? So tonight I'm gonna go out and have fun. Me. I probably should and will definitely try to get as much accomplished as I can before I leave. That way I can try to have fun without a guilty conscience. But regardless of how much I accomplish today, I am still going to go out and avoid my feelings. Heck, I'm actively right now avoiding a thing that I should be doing, and my husband's sitting right next to me listening to me avoid it, so I'm sure he's not entirely pleased about this. Oh yeah, I was right. Disappointed. Disappointed me big time. But I'm gonna finish this video still. Interestingly enough, having avoidance as a coping mechanism does mean that when you face these things head on that you're entirely used to avoiding constantly, it does, you end up with a physical reaction. It's physically uncomfortable, and when I learned what my homework assignment was going to be, I actually started, like, throwing up a little bit. just knowing that I was going to have to stop avoiding the thing that I was avoiding. I had a headache all day, and I'm still not sleeping, still got insomnia. In fact, they have upped my medication dose on several of my meds, so the insomnia might just get a little worse before it gets better. Random question. I know I'm like always doing my makeup in front of you guys, but should I have makeup tutorials be part of the Patreon? Should that be should I explain what I'm doing? That would be such a major vanity project for me. Don't flatter me like that. But also tell me if that's what you want. But also don't flatter me. Be real though. Don't flatter me. Okay, so I feel like I'm jumping all over the place, but in my introduction video, I mentioned that I am the one who fiddles with dead bugs all the time, but that's because it's my job and I don't just like fiddling with dead bugs for just the fun of it. There's also money involved, but it's mostly for the fun of it. This right here, I do the art. I did that. And I pinned this one, this buggy. It will become art. The term is entomological taxidermy. Certainly is enough of a job for a weirdo like me. There are a lot of things about myself that I do not like, but one of the things that I think we're supposed to be doing in therapy is trying to like tell myself that those things aren't true and that I'm only feeling this way about myself because of trauma or something. I don't know. It'd be nice if it stopped happening at least. Really, I think the only thing that I can't avoid is my own distaste for my own existence, and that seems counterproductive. If I would like to lead a better life, I should probably think I deserve one. Making videos and being open about my symptoms is very counterintuitive because the reason I have all these symptoms is to protect myself from all the things that scare me in the world, and what scares me in the world is the world itself, so explaining my symptoms is really more vulnerability than I want to, but it feels, because it's counterintuitive, I feel like it's pro-therapy, right? I'm not avoiding my symptoms, I'm talking openly about it to the internet, I'm really genuinely trying.